Welcome everyone! In this video, we are in the Ultra League showcasing another very powerful team featuring Escavalier on a double steel backline, a more modernized and effective interpretation of the classic Dragon double steel line. Escavalier in the back to close. If you can preserve a shield advantage for Escavalier, it can be quite powerful and quite effective. This thing hits like an absolute truck, I think we all know, but just not known for its bulk. And also on this team, we've got Cobalion, completing the double steel dynamic of this ABB style team for the Ultra League. It will be serving as the safe swap to draw out anything that Escavalier doesn't want to see, most notably a Charizard, maybe even a Swampert. Cobalion has the flexibility and the bulk to hang in there. And also on this team, we've got Giratina altered on the lead. The dragon aspect of the classic Dragon double steel line. And it is hyper modernized and very effective for this meta because Giratina does not like dark types. And both of our steel types run counter, which can handle those pesky dark types for Giratina. Gotta say, Escavalier and Giratina, probably one of my favorite pairings for the Ultra League. And here we go, Shadow Charizard lead. If you're gonna encounter one of these, this is exactly where you want to see it. And this is also why we chose to run Ancient Power on Giratina, because you really want to put the pressure on something as powerful as a Charizard, and as you can see there, successfully baiting with a Dragon Claw, getting an early shield. Not going to shield the Dragon Claws here. We do live 2 from a Shadow, and we will look to trigger the CMP event here as they go for another Dragon Claw. We do survive because we are about as bulky as it gets. And we are going to fire off this Ancient Power. It'll either grab that final shield or allow us to win lead. They elect to go completely down on shields. That was astounding to see. So we now have a 2 shield advantage. Our dragon is down, but we've got 2 powerful steel types with shields that can still go up against this Charizard. Feeling a little confident that they were going to try and bait. And we do successfully call that bait. You love to see it. And this is what was avoiding our Giratina, what prompted that Charizard to give up both of their shields. We've got a Surfetched here. Almost said Escavalier, but we've got loaded energy. Gonna fire off these back-to-back Sacred Swords and look to farm the Surfetch down. Cobalion absolutely putting in the work. This thing is an absolute monster. And this is only another Dragon Claw, and we are steel and we are tanky, which means that we survived long enough to get off this final Sacred Sword. Charizard is squishy, has no shields. We're saying bye-bye to the Charizard, and they've got a Walrein. It is lights out. That's the power of this double steel, hyper-modernized ABB team. Good game, well played. Had to make a slight correction there. Obviously, I think I said both of these run counter. We know Cobalion does not, but works just the same, right, guys? We had a Swampert, they swap into a Trevenant, and we have to stay right here because we want nothing to do with a Trevenant if we are Escavalier or Cobalion. Although they can fight back, but Giratina is our best answer to a Trevenant. And you don't really need Shadow Sneak. I do like Ancient Power, especially if you have these 2 Pokemon behind Giratina. If you don't, you might need to go Shadow Sneak, but we don't. The Dragon Claws are enough. We did have to shield up that Shadow Ball because they usually like to just go right for it, banking on trainers not wanting to shield their Giratina. And the Trevenant is gone, and they do come back in with the Swampert. The Swampert has loads of energy. They are hanging on to it for dear life. Tried to catch the EQ on our Escav, as it would have hit us for neutral, but this trainer is committed to absolutely loading up on energy, and that is fine. They do fire off a Hydro Cannon. We live that, and we look to play to the CMP tie to really put some pressure on this Swampert, either take it out or force them to shield. They don't want to give up all of that energy that they have been farming, and they do give up his shield. We are now even. Not going to shield this. And going to come in with Cobalion and try and go for a farm down, but they aggressively swap into a not-so-good matchup for them. I think they were anticipating our Giratina to come back in, and we are now staring at a Shadow Skuntank in the Ultra League. So that is quite the investment for them to make. And it does run Flamethrower, and we do successfully shield up that Flamethrower. That would have done a boatload of damage, and now we will look to take them out with a Sacred Sword. Hits for neutral, but it is a Shadow, and it will KO them. Gonna catch the next Flamethrower here. Shields were down on our end, not looking to tank a Shadow Flamethrower onto our Steel-type Cobalion, and we do successfully make that catch, and we will fire off the Dragon Claw here, taking out the Skuntank, and it is just about 99 sleep tight. They realized it was just about over, as they do promptly top left. Good game, well played. Oh man, whenever I can run these three Pokemon, especially on the same team, I'm always having a very fun time. But not with a lead like that. We had an Alolan Muk, we make the play into our safe swap Cobalion, and we draw out a Cresselia. So very interesting. Escavalier can handle this Cresselia quite well. It's actually our best answer to the Cresselia. But Cobalion can put in work as well, as it is quite tanky, and it either resists or only takes neutral damage from what Cresselia can throw. We do comfortably tank a big Future Sight. Again, hits us for neutral with our Fighting Steel typing. We can't tank a second one, and we want to put in a little bit more work onto this Cresselia here, just because we're not running the Shadow Sneak, which happens to be a terrible move, I might add. And we go for another Stone Edge, and we're going to fire off Stone Edge number 3. Holy smokes, Cresselia. So tanky. My goodness, this thing just hangs in there and just terrorizes your existence. Tried to catch Future Sight onto Giratina, but they were onto us. They were fast to react to that, and good on them. Going to go for the Dragon Claw up against this Alolan Muk here. And we do survive a Dark Pulse from this health range, not a problem. The reason why we were fine with aggressive swapping back in is because we knew that we weren't going to be able to flip the switch, and I had a strong feeling that they might have been weak to either one of our Steel types in the back. So that is what prompted this here. I wasn't seeing too much value in Giratina, so that's fine. Wanted to draw this back out. And we can actually farm this thing all the way down. We do tank a Dark Pulse from this Muk here. And I was counting. And I counted Acid Spray energy. But I thought, surely I must have missed one. Because why else would they be throwing their move? And it turns out I was correct on my counts. I just did not trust them. And absolutely wasted a shield. And the fact that they're bringing in a Cresselia back onto an Escavalier of all things really clues me in that I was right on my my hunch that they are weak to either an Escav or a Cobalion. And looky what we have here. An Obstagoon. We are absolutely loaded. Gonna bait with a Drill Run, grabbing a shield, and now we will go for the Mega Horn up against the Dark type Obstagoon. This is going to be doing big damage on the Obstagoon, and we snipe with our Cobalion, denying them their energy, and we can just farm down that Alolan Muk and close the game out with Cobalion. Oh man, this team was absolutely working. Good game, well played. Guys, I really wanted to give you another very powerful ABB team because I believe ABB is the key to success in this meta. And here we go. Had a Deoxys on the lead. That was a nightmare for them. They make a play into Walrein in its shadow form, and we meet this with our Escavalier. We could certainly have, we certainly could have met this with our Cobalion, and maybe arguably should have, but this is fine as well. The reason why is because Escavalier is slightly better, or actually I would say much better up against Defense Form Deoxys if it were to come down to it than our Cobalion. So yeah, Cobalion would be the alignment here, but this is fine. We successfully called their bait on the first Icicle Spear and successfully shielded the Earthquake. What more could you ask for? Loaded up, farmed down, having a Mega Horn locked and loaded for this Psychic type Deoxys. Does big damage, but Deoxys about as tanky as it gets for the Ultra League. And gonna catch the Rock Slide onto our Giratina. Again, they led with Deoxys. That means that they're weak to Steel in the back, and they are. They've got a Poison type coming in the form of Drapion. So again, this is fine. We can just spam these neutral Dragon Claws, and we do tank a Crunch from this range. But it's really nice to draw this thing out because it can do nothing to our Cobalion. provided it is running the conventional Crunch Sludge Bomb moveset. Cobalion Hard Walls Drapion like you wouldn't believe. And even if it is Aqua Tail, it's still extremely dominant for Cobalion. They're going to fire off another move, taking us out, and we are fine with that. I have a lot of faith in our remaining two Pokemon, knowing that all they have is this Drapion and the low health Deoxys. I'm going to fire off a Resisted Crunch that does laughable damage, and they realize that it was not going to happen for them. They do top left. Good game, well played to them. ABB team was amazing, guys. I'm telling you, if you're struggling in Ultra and you're not running ABB, that's likely why. And here we go. Charizard lead. So in this battle, I try to experiment with I'm collecting data here, guys, on the Charizard lead. The first one we baited successfully. This one I choose to go right for it just to see what the Charizard trainers are doing. Are they more likely to respect an ancient power? And it does appear as though they are. So I will officially say that you should bait and then go for it. I think you'll have a lot more fun in that matchup. And they make a play into a Jellicent. So they have chipped us quite a bit, and they are overloading by quite a bit as well. So we're going to take advantage of that. We're going to really just put in a lot of work and put in a lot of pressure. They have yet to throw a move. I don't know what they're waiting for, but that's fine. I'm going to take full advantage of that, preserve some health on Giratina, and throw Cobalion in here to soak all of this all of this energy that they have farmed off of our Giratina. And we do tank it quite well. They go Shadow Ball. They are down a shield, and they can go Shadow Ball again. We do tank that. And because of all the work we put in with Giratina, we can now overload a bit and go for the double resisted Sacred Sword. Yes, Jellicent is tanky, but it is well within range. We do take it out. And fully expecting that Charizard to come back in and immediately throw, trying to deny us that energy. Oh, no, 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 no. You're going to have to give us that final shield, buddy. We will gladly shield to grab their final shield because, again, if you can set up Escavalier with a shield advantage, it can do some amazing things. And we do aggro swap back into Giratina, and we draw out an A9. So this is beautiful. Going to go for this super effective Ancient Power and try and get in as many Shadow Claws as we can. Giratina getting it down to 50% health. That is beautiful. So the play here now is to farm this thing all the way down to Funky Town. That is the play, and leave with as close to 2 drill runs as we can, because Escavalier hits like a truck, and even resisted damage proves to be meaningful damage when it comes from an Escavalier. So that's the play. We're going to farm this thing, try and get to 2 drill runs. We tank all this resisted damage for days. That's the beauty of the steel typing on Escavalier. And we do just about get there, not quite. They aggressively swap back into that Charizard. I'm going to fire off drill run number 1. It is single resisted, but it's looking like 2 drill runs will do the trick for us. All we have to do is shield up this potential Dragon Claw here, and we've got drill run number 2 locked and loaded because we did get through a counter. And they have no shields. We're saying bye-bye yet again to yet another Charizard. You'd love to see it. And we farm down that Alolan Ninetales. Escavalier doing what it does best. That is close the game strong. That's going to be a good game. Well played. Man, I've noticed quite the drop-off in the usage of Giratina as this cycle has gone on. Not sure why. It's as strong as ever. But not with a lead like this. We had a Walrein. We make a play into our Cobalion safe swap. And we draw out a Swampert. That's this ABB-style team working to perfection. That's what Cobalion is here to do. Draw out Swampert, draw out Trevenant, draw out Charizard. Anything that Escavalier will struggle with, Cobalion is here to draw it out. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. We do successfully call the Hydro Cannon there. They generally, I think it's about 50-50. Sometimes they will throw you a curveball and go straight for the EQ, but generally that's a safe bait to call for Swampert, and we are going to fire off another Sacred Sword. We are now drawing shields from the Swampert, going for Sacred Sword. Number 3 here, Cobalion. Super spammy, super tanky, amazing Pokemon for the Ultra League. Grabbing the final shield, holy smokes, Cobalion. Putting in the work, going for Sacred Sword number 5. They have no shields, and oh, we really needed that to KO. That is unfortunate, holy smokes. Shiny Swampert hung on by a thread, forcing a shield. Man, it would have been really nice if that KO'd, but was not meant to be. We have no shields on both ends, and they catch our Stone Edge back onto the Walrein. Holy smokes. We'll take that, guys, because we've got another steel type, and we did not aggro swap, my friends. We wanted them to take us out so that we did not trigger the switch clock, because we knew that we were going to farm this thing all the way down, seeing how much damage they took. We knew that we tanked an EQ, and we didn't want to be locked in onto that Charizard. That's why we let them take us out. You have to really be aware of those things, especially in the Ultra League. We do fire off the Drill Run, and now it is 99 Sleep type for this Charizard. It has no shields, which means that it is quite vulnerable. That's going to be yet another good game. Well played. So as you can see, my friends, Charizard, not a problem for this team. And here we go. Trevenant lead. Again, one of those Pokemon that if you're going to encounter it, this is exactly where you want to see it. And again, although we don't have Shadow Sneak, we can still put in work with these Dragon Claws. I think with this particular team, Ancient Power really threatens those Charizards, as we saw. And right here again, experimenting the best way to tackle a Trevenant lead. I decided to no shield this time and paid big time. But holy smokes, look at the power of Giratina, tanky enough to hang on by 1 HP and get off yet another Dragon Claw and a Shadow Claw. Grabbing a shield, losing lead, but getting the Trevenant quite low. I'm not sure if that was the right play. I think maybe we should have perhaps shielded the Shadow Ball in hindsight. But as we all know, hindsight is 20/20, is it not, my friends? And we do shield the Shadow Ball there. They're not messing around. They're not looking to bait whatsoever. They aggro swap into a Swampert, and we meet this with our Escavalier. So yeah, gonna let this go. As we saw, we do tank a Hydro Cannon. Not completely made of paper. We actually tank it quite comfortably. And knowing that they only have one shield left, we're gonna just go straight for this massive Mega Horn and threaten to take them out. They give up the shield. So right here, I should have been reading that they were gonna be weak to a steel type in the back. Maybe should have shielded, but we would not have outpaced, so probably a good play to let that go. And now it is just all up to Cobalion. At this point, I'm thoroughly reading that they're weak to a steel in the back. We know that they have a Trevenant. And again, the Sacred Sword just doesn't quite KO. And they aggro swap back into the Trevenant. Yeah, should have gone Stone Edge there. Because now we're forced to shield a Shadow Ball. And it's a Seed Bomb bait. Holy smokes, this is not trending in the right direction for us. Gonna have to just get rid of this Trevenant and hope for the best. At this point, I'm thinking right now it's not looking too good, because I'm pretty sure that there is something that doesn't want to see a steel type but can also fight back, and it is a Registeel. I was thinking it's either Reggie or G-Fisk. Both of those would be trouble for us if we had to give up that final shield, which we did. And yeah, this one's not going to happen for us. Just a few slight misplays here and there, and yeah, we're paying for it in the end. Not able to get that one done, but good game, well played to them. Yeah, we zigged when we should have zagged a few times in that last one, but hey, it is what it is. Here we go, Cresselia lead. This is fine. Again, we do have a much better answer. Escavalier, one of the best answers to a Cresselia in the entire meta. But again, we don't really want to give up Switch just yet here. We can put in some work on this Cresselia. We do comfortably tank a Moonblast from this health range. Does about 40% health or so. And gonna look to build up again, and I believe catch the next one onto our Cobalion. They are at the Moonblast right now, so we will be able to get off this Dragon Claw and successfully catch that Moonblast onto our Cobalion. So you don't generally want to save swap Escavalier under any circumstance, because if they have a Talonflame or a Charizard in the back, you are in big trouble. But that's not what we draw out here. We draw out a Shadow Politoed. You don't see these too often these days in the Open Ultra League, but it can still absolutely put in work. It's actually very good, very tanky. It's a Yeah, it's tanky and spammy. That's never a good combination if you have to go up against it. And they do go Weather Ball. Gonna look to let this go, I do believe. And look to come in with our Giratina. They do still have energy loaded. I believe they're just a couple or a few off from a potential EQ. And we will let it go. It's gonna hurt. Yes, it hurts, but Giratina is about as tanky as it gets. We will be able to take out this Politoed with a Dragon Claw, and fully expecting the Cresselia to come back in, and we are not able to get off our Dragon Claw. That's fine. What we're gonna look to do here now is tank this damage and really load up on energy. We really need a lot of energy to threaten whatever they have lurking in the back. So we're just countering it basically into drill run range, and we will fire off a drill run. This is just a double resisted grass knot that does no damage, and we will fire off the drill run here. This should be more than enough to say bye-bye to the Cresselia, and they've got a G-Fisk in the back, so loading up on energy was absolutely the play, because if we did not, this G-Fisk would thoroughly outpace us to neutral rock slides, which would basically KO us from this health range. But because of the overfarm, we're able to fire off these super effective drill runs back to back there, basically. And we took both shields. They realized it was not trending in the right direction. They do top left. Maybe a bit premature, but it was not going to work out for them. I'm quite confident to say. So good game, well played. And that is the team, my friends. How about it? A hyper-modernized version of the classic Dragon Double Steel line. I think, like I said, Giratina and Escavalier, one of the best pairings you can run in the Ultra League. And it definitely paid off in this video. They complement each other's weaknesses quite well. And you pair that with a bulky, versatile, flexible second steel type that also runs a fighting type fast move to handle those dark types that are all over the place in the Ultra League. That comes in the form of Cobalion. Guys, that's a recipe for a lot of success. But guys, I had a blast. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, I thank you for watching and keep up the grind. Thank you, guys.